explanation. The Amos and Andy television show, which follows, was made on film. It was shown to a studio audience of 500 people, representing all walks of life, both white and colored. Their reactions as they watched the film were recorded and dubbed back into the soundtrack exactly as they occurred. No attempt has been made to cut any of the spontaneous reactions, even though at times it seems to cover some of the dialogue. Just prior to showing the film, Freeman Garsden and Charles Carell introduced the cast to the audience. A kinescope was made of this, and now we would like to show you a brief glimpse of the introduction before we present the Amos and Andy film. You will first see Freeman Garsden introducing the man who will play the part of Henry Van Porter.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce one of our principal characters, the character of Henry Van Porter. We looked all over the country for this character, even looked back in Virginia, had tests made in every state in the Union almost, and we found him right under our nose here in California. His name is Chester Harrison as Henry Van Porter.
He's very effective. Tonight he's in the television show. He is playing the part of a plainclothesman on the police department, Roy Glenn.
Now I'm going to introduce the character who takes the part of a judge in the courtroom scene. His name is Vincent Townsend.
And the man that plays the bailiff in the courtroom scene, Corny Anderson.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the character of Amos is not in the city. He has gone back home for the purpose of getting his belongings together, preparing to move here where these television shows will be made. However, you will see him in the show tonight on television, and I think you will agree that he does make an excellent Amos and does a grand job. However, I would like to take this opportunity of introducing Andy, Andrew H. Brown. Now, before we introduce Andy, I would like to say this, that if we had the power to mold the character to fill the shoes of Andrew H. Brown, I don't think that we could do a better job than the boy that we found in Oklahoma City. This fellow, Spencer Williams, actually comes to life as Andrew H. Brown, and I venture to say that 3 or 4 seconds after you see him, you will always think of him when you think of Andy. And to prove what I'm talking about, here he is, Andrew H. Brown.
Character we were a long time finding, because the Kingfish is really somebody. He's a fellow that has to have a twinkle in his eye, a smile on his face, and a sort of a devil in his heart. A fellow who is always looking out after his brothers, but first to the last after himself. Now when this fellow comes out, and when he's on television, I think you'll realize that this really is the Kingfish. In fact, we predict that all the characters we have, when you see them in the television film, they'll all come to life in front of your eyes. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Tim Moore, the man that plays the part of George Stevens, Kingfish of the Line.
Don't forget, we is all brothers in that great fraternity, the Mystic Knights of the Sea.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank our cast for coming down here and making this personal appearance so that you can meet them before you see them in the television show. So without further ado, we would like to say, let's put on the Amos and Andy show, and we hope you enjoy it. something that happened to my friends Andy and the Kingfish. And they found a nickel in an old trunk. It was dated 1877. So Andy wrote a letter to Mr. Wilson, a rare coin dealer, and right now Mr. Wilson is answering Andy's letter.
Andrew H. Brown, care of the Mystic Knights of the Sea Lodge Hall. Dear Mr. Brown, in reply to your recent letter requesting the value of an 1877 5-cent piece, the current market of this coin is $250. If you care to bring the coin in, we will be happy to pay you this amount. I hope our offer meets with your approval. Yours very truly.
Is that all, Mr. Wilson?
Yes. And I hope this Andrew Brown accepts our offer. I'd like to have this coin to our collection. Get the letter right off.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, James.
Well, good morning, Joe. How long tail the deal man this morning? Any mail?
Just one letter, Kingfish. It's for Andy Brown.
See the boy lay there at the pool hole. I'll give it to him. Well, I guess I better be getting home now and see the daddy ain't got any lunch for me. See you later, old pal. Yes, sir, Father, this is me. Lunch ready? I just come from... Honey, thought I told you not to come out in that rig till I got something in my stomach.
You better keep your big mouth shut. What's that letter you got there?
A letter for Andy. Rare coin dealer. Maybe I better open that letter and see what they're writing the boy about.
Dad Stevens, you ain't thinking about tampering with the mail, did you?
Now, wait a minute. Let's think of this thing. You know I pay taxes. It's my government.
What about?
Well, it's my government. My post office. They're in my post office. You know how when a fellow opening his own mail, isn't it? Mr. Andy Brown. 1877. Holy mackerel. Andy has got a nickel worth $250.
George Stevens, it was bad enough opening Andy's letter. You ain't thinking about getting him out of that coin, is you?
Who? Me? Innocent Stevens? I'll say I am.
Better not, because I ain't gonna stand for no more trouble around here. You understand that? And if you start dipping Andy or anybody else, I'm gonna break every bone in my body.
I ain't going to get anybody. And stop hollering. Of all the gals in the world, why did I have to marry a woman with a dinosaur mouth?
But you say nothing like that to me.
I never love her. Now, be gentle and kind.
Charming to see you, simply charming.
Yeah, charming.
I got Mrs. Van Porter at the beauty parlor and came right over as soon as I could. Now, what's this I hear about Andy having a nickel worth $250?
That's right, ain't it? I accidentally found out about it. Now all I gotta do is figure out a way to get it away from him.
Well, knowing you, Kingfish, that should be a minor operation.
I know the boy got the nickel on him someday, but how I'm gonna get his pants off so I can go through his pocket?
Well, let me see. A man takes his pants off when he goes to sleep, or when he goes to the doctor.
Wait a minute.
Doctor.
That's it, Henry.
Doctor.
Hey, I got a lot of doctor equipment that I got when the drugstore up the street burned down. Yeah, Dr. George Stevens. Henry, I think I was about to perform a nickelectomy.
Hey, Chris, I was expecting a letter that was supposed to,
Excuse me, Andy, can't you see I taking a blood count here? 1, 2, 3. There's 4. That's 2. That's the most anemic blood I ever did see. Hey, old pal. It's good seeing you. Excuse the rubber glove. I just come from a big operation.
Kingfish, you mean to say that you is an actual doctor?
Well, I ain't been blabbing it around, but I've been taking a correspondence course in doctoring from that medical school down in Baltimore. John Baptist. Oh, what's the matter? Wait a minute here. Can you and good or and bad? Clean. Let's take another look here. I see you were suffering from a slight inflation of the optimistic nerve there. Now, I don't want to worry you or frighten you, nothing like that. But if you got any reading to do, you better do it within the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, what to do? Well, I can't tell till I look into it a little deeper. Deeper? How deep is you got to look? Pretty deep. Take off your pants. Wait a minute, please. This trouble with my eyes, I somebody to see my face on. There's a secret of obstetricity. So don't argue with the obstetrical. Yeah. And hurry up, too, for I got a full schedule of doctor in here. So I think I'm going to have to squeeze you in between an appendicitis and loose liver. You done located the trouble with my eye yet, Kingfish? Anything in your head, Lloyd? Turn around. Yeah. Let's take a look in this area here. Sure down here, little. Get my glass right here. And you hold this there while I run around looking at the other side. And I coming through all right. I see the trouble now. Is with your eyes all right? What you mean with my eyes? Well, after give you thorough examination, I find that the root of your trouble is eye strain. Yeah, my boy, you done changed your eyes. Yeah. I know I ain't been seeing the way I oughta. You ought to see some of the gals I've been whistling at lately. And you give your eyes complete rest. Yeah, you gotta rest them at least an hour each day. Yeah, but ain't it kind of hard to rest your eyes without resting the rest of it? No, son. Medical science done found out a way to overcome that. Yeah. You got to sit